What's up, everyone? It's me and Rebecca doing our video for Parents Initiative. We thank you for taking the time to watch this. It really means a lot to us. We got some exciting news here in a few moments, but before we get to that, we would like to share something that we experienced about a week and a half ago with our daughter Marcella, which is 7 years old. And we were doing our devotions there home for the summer, and one of the things that we've been trying to focus on real hard is during the mornings we sit down with them, we have a devotion, and then what we do is we discuss the day. But this day, on this particular devotion time, we were talking about prayer and the importance of listening and just really taking the time to pray for other people and just being aware of the needs around us. And something unique happened, and I'd like to Rebecca to share that a little bit.
Yeah, we were actually getting ready just to close and like our last prayer, and we prayed. And then Marcella said, well, can we pray for someone? And we're like, sure. We are down for that. And she's like, well, I was like, who's on your heart? You know, who are you thinking about? She says, well, I'd just like to pray for my principal and pray that she's having a good day. I'm just thinking about her today. And I just love that in that moment, you know, we could have just got up and left and said, no, it's okay, we're already done, you know. But letting people have that opportunity to not only hear from the Lord, but act upon that. And so we let her lead the prayer. And we let her say the prayer for her principal. And it was just amazing for her to be able to use that gift and to learn how to hear from the Lord and to have compassion for other people and to act upon that. And
it was a very well thought out prayer.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
And I mean, it wasn't like, it was probably maybe 30 seconds long,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just really well thought out. And it just spoke to my heart, because I think sometimes we think, you know, at a child at such a young age cannot hear from the Lord, cannot really take time to pray for someone. But at that moment, there's no telling, you know, what God was awakening her to in that moment. Maybe that principal needed some prayer at that time. Maybe that principal needed someone to pray on her behalf at that moment. She could have been in a very difficult meeting or a difficult situation,
Right.
but because we allowed our daughter to be obedient and hear from the Lord and speak from her heart, that was a blessing, I'm sure.
Right, and allowed growth there. Whenever you're able to practice that, the amazing way to communicate with the Lord is through prayer. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just so necessarily the devotion aspect of it, but I want you to realize that when you create these opportunities, it allows for moments like that.
Yeah.
When you're intentional, it allows for moments for your kids to be used by God, for you to be used by God, for your kids to feel more comfortable when they find themselves in a situation like that, where they have a moment to speak up, and you prepare them for that. And I want to encourage you to make that a priority. Do your best to start instituting a time of devotion, whether it's a couple times a week or several times a week. Make that a priority, a huge priority in your home.
Yeah, and if they can start praying in front of you, you know, and creating that prayer life, that's the foundation of their walk with the Lord. You know, learning that it's a conversation. It's how you build that relationship with Jesus, is when you can take time in prayer, and that their prayers are being heard. And that their prayers are powerful, that it doesn't have to be long-winded. It's just the heart behind it.
Yeah.
And letting them operate in that.
Cool. So listen, we're in an exciting time. This
Yes,
is what
we
I
are.
have right here.
Yay!
It's our book, Parents Initiative.
It's not quite done.
It's not quite done, but as you can see, it's a real book. Has words in it. You probably can see those markings. This is
Yeah.
I guess the editing book, the proof they call it.
Yeah.
So there's still a little process to go, but that is my picture right
Yeah.
there.
And Marcella is so excited.
Marcella's really pumped because her name was in the book.
She
She's
was-
like blown away. Like I told her, okay, so this is what happened. I told her about the book, and she's like, "Oh, that's so cool." And then Rebecca took the time to kind of open the book and show her, and she's like, "That's my name."
I said, what does that say right there? She's, Marcella, my name is in a book.
That was so
And she
cute.
was so funny.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So we're excited, and I want to encourage you. Listen, we're like maybe $1,300 away from
Yeah.
getting this in our hands quicker. We've been paying monthly. And some of you in here have that are watching this video, man, you've stepped up to the plate.
Thank you so much.
You've
Yes.
helped us reach that goal. So to get this in our hands, we're still needing about $1,300 to get it quicker,
Yep.
and then we're trying to raise an additional, I think it's $1,200 to be able to purchase a bulk order of 200 books so we
Yeah.
could sell and have some in our hands. But if you were to go to our website, you could go give towards that. If you went to GoFundMe, you'll see that the balance is $1,300, and that's just to get the book in our hands. But we're still trying to raise an additional $1,200 to get the books in bulk order for 200 at one time. So we thank you so much for your
Yes.
prayers. We're going to put those links here at the bottom of the page. We thank you so much, and we thank you for your prayers and your support, and we pray blessings upon you, and you guys have a great week.